You a fan of pro wrestling, comedy, and combat sports? Then we have the podcast for you because we cover that and much, much more.
Do you like to debate with your friends? Do we have the perfect segment for you? It's the 531, where we take any given subject, break it down to a top 5. From there, we debate it down to 3, and then into that number 1 spot.
If you want to get a hold of us, find us on our social medias. Search Working Fans Podcast on any major social media platform. And if you want to find the podcast, search for us on any major podcast platform, as well as YouTube.
Working Fans Podcast. We put in the work so you don't have to.
Morning, guys. Welcome back to the Working Fans Podcast daily content. We're getting at you early today because it is the Friday of WrestleMania weekend. And while there were events yesterday, we have more events coming up today. Before we get into the events, though, I just want to quickly shout out the people that always bring us to you. Pro Wrestling Vault Volume 1, available at lancebychance.com, where you can also get Lance by Chance. We got Super Vows by a friend of the show, Kevin Kelton. Graham by AO Money Meech. Camouflage. When the Deadbolt Breaks. Buzzard Canyon. You know, the Mighty Connecticut People Records. And if you saw the picture at the beginning of this show, you know we are bringing you the World on Lucha today. This is one of the events that I was excited about that the collective brings you, because one of the reasons I like the collective so much is they bring you like a variety of shows. You had Planet Death last night. You had Joey Janela's Spring Break Part 1 last night. And this is bringing you kind of more of a lucha flavor. You got, in the match order that I got, you got Sadiqa versus Pagano. Pagano has put in some amazing hardcore matches in Mexico, and that will be a match to see. Psychosis versus Tony Deppen. You got a lucha, I would say legend, because I remember him from the time where he wrestled with Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera in WCW. So that is a match I'm looking forward to. And I've talked about it before, how Tony Deppen is an amazing in-ring talent. Now, it wouldn't be GCW without those 6-way scramble matches. You have Arrow Boy versus Octagon Jr. versus Shane Mercer versus Golden Dragon versus Drago Kid versus Chris Carter. I expect this to be a high-energy match. People are going to be flying all over the place. Did I catch some of the shows last night? I was able to catch about half a Bloodsport, and I stayed up till 12:30. because I watched it when I got in from work. So I caught about half a Bloodsport. I'm hoping to catch the Mark Hitchcock Super Show tonight. And God, today I've got JCW versus LA Fights. We have the World on Lucha, and then Super Card of Honor tonight. And I will most likely be buying for the culture as well. Now, following that 6-way match, we have AR Fox versus Ninja Mac. I thought Ninja Mac had a great showing in Bloodsport last night, and I was surprised to see him take the mask off. So to see him in the ring with AR Fox, this is going to be an athletic contest. And we have Abismo Negro, Demonic Flamita, and Gringo Loco versus ASF, Laredo Kid, and Rey Horus. And this is going to be like the match at the World on GCW at the Hammerstein, where you had that great 6-man match that was one of the more exciting matches of the night. And I think this is definitely going to be in that same feeling. Now, another great showing last night from Bloodsport was John Hennigan, Johnny Bloodsport. In this one, going as Johnny Caballero versus Jack Cartwheel. And we all know what Johnny can do. We know what Jack Cartwheel can do. But to see them against each other in a match, this is another one of those great pairings. And then you want to talk about great pairings. We have Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Psycho Clown. This was a This was a match in AAA where Dr. Wagner Jr. lost his mask. So, and I believe early on, I heard this was a hair versus mask match. I didn't double check that before I got on here. Probably should have, but that's a reason why this is another exciting match for me. Now, that's a pretty solid card. I came to you guys so early because probably about noon, 1 o'clock, we're going to do the next episode of the Working Fans podcast. And it's just going to be me solo. I'm going to be bringing you all the lineups that I brought you throughout the week. I'm going to be announcing any add-ons because a couple of these cards have had a couple matches added on. And we have a couple videos from Dave to play. He's got a message about his mom that we will play early on in the show. And then later on, we will get to he covered NXT and WWE for you since I was kind of covering everything else. Now, thank you for joining us. Once again, let us know in the comments, what shows are you watching? What shows are you enjoying? What shows do you think we should check out? Because so far, every show that we've brought you in these daily contents is something that we plan on watching. And there will most likely be one tomorrow as well. I'm not 100% because now that we are starting to kick off WrestleMania weekend, Dave and I have wrestling commentary we have to record. I've got work with the More Perfect Union podcast that we plan on recording tonight. And you know how busy it is just to watch WrestleMania. So imagine trying to create content during it. But we will Randy, there are so many shows this weekend. And, I think JCW versus LA Fight starts at 12 today. I want to say the World on Lucha is at like 4. And that's like right when Dave and I will be recording. So I don't know when we're going to fit in the time to watch all this, but we will fit it in. We will review it and we will get back to you. So thank you for joining us.